This is me, Andrew. I'm actually laughing because Mercury retrograde struck as I was making this video the first time, and like my video recorder just shut down. And I was like, okay, that's fine, that's cool, whatever. And but you can probably tell from the title of this video what it's going to be about. And it's a video that I'm kind of really sad that I have to make. But I want to preface, by talking a little bit about myself for a minute. It's not about me, but I want to give you guys a backstory so I can kind of give you guys a little bit more depth. When I was in the church, there was one pastor who I loved. I loved her so much. I had every single book. I had every single, not every single DVD teaching, but I had DVD teachings. I watched her live on like a live stream on the internet. Like I loved her. She elevated my faith a lot, as much as it could be. And I realize now that her teachings changed my life. What she presented changed my life. And instead of just elevating her teaching, I elevated her with the teaching. And I don't name drop. Like I'm not, except for the one name that you see in the title. I'm not going to talk about this particular pastor, but I elevated her and her teaching instead of just her teaching. I put her in a place of being special and being, the woman that changed my faith and my life and my walk with God at the time. And I realize now how wrong that was. And this is a lesson that I've actually learned a very hard way. So if you're watching this, you probably already know what's been going on. Those of us in the spiritual community have kind of been thrown a total curveball, right? And I'm still kind of reeling, and this video is really going to be about me processing my thoughts, because I feel like I want to process my thoughts in a way that might be able to help somebody else. But as you know, if like I said, if you're watching this video, you probably know what happened. But if you don't, I'm going to explain it to you anyway. So Doreen Virtue is a celebrated author, a celebrated speaker. She has spoke about angels for over 20 something years. Her teachings about angels and ascended masters, and she makes she's made angel cards like tarot cards. She made tarot not scary, and she helps people to connect with their angels in a way that brings them closer to source or to God or creator, whoever whatever you call them, universe. And she has helped so many people. She has tons of courses, certified angel card reader, angel therapist, angel intuitive. I mean, she has everything. She is a mogul when it comes to like angels, and it's really. I mean, if you know the New Age movement, then you know Doreen Virtue is. Who Doreen Virtue is. People I have found are either lover or hater. There's no in between. And the people that hate her, their basis for not liking her is that she's too fluffy and too positive. And that her decks are too fluffy and too positive. Which I don't really see that as a criticism, because some people really need that. Then there are some people that say if you need it fluffy, then you shouldn't do it at all. But I feel like when I started using her decks, they made me more comfortable opening up my psychic abilities into using decks that maybe aren't so fluffy and they're a little bit meatier and darker. And my chair's going to make farting noises every time I move. So it's not me farting, it's my chair. So one of the most celebrated angel authors in the world, New Age author, speaker, lecturer, released a video on YouTube, and we knew that something was coming. We kind of got the feeling, because she talked about being baptized, and we're like, okay, I can get with someone being baptized. Like I'm cool with that. And you want to work with Jesus more? That's cool. she actually helped me to work with Jesus a little bit more as well. So I'm kind of like, okay, cool. I can work with Jesus more. I can kind of get on this Jesus train to an extent. So Doreen released a video called Doreen Discusses Jesus, and you can find it. And I'm not going to link it below because I don't want to be responsible. Because I was really triggered by this video, and I don't want you to find it through me and be triggered. I want you to be able to look at it on your own and just Google it or YouTube it, find it. So she released a video, and the description talked about how she became a born-again Christian. And the sarcastic, like, me was like, Jesus Christ, get it? Like, I literally said, Jesus Christ, like, what is this? The video was one of the most disturbing videos I think I've seen in a very long time. It triggered me in a way that I have not been triggered in years. It really unsettled me. And I had actually just sent her a note through a mutual friend telling her how I really appreciate the work she's doing with Jesus. And then swear to God, the day after, or maybe 2 days after, I see this video. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can see this. I can watch this video. I wanted to learn more about what she's saying about Jesus. And I was very shook by that video. I do want to say first that I will not degrade or talk down about Doreen Virtue in any way. So if that's why you're here, then it's not going to happen. I will not talk bad about her or about her path. I'm not going to do it. I was actually going to make this video sooner. But on Instagram this morning, Vix from New Age Hipster posted a story and talking about when we criticize Doreen Virtue's path, we're doing the same thing that we don't like being done to us. And we're not practicing that open-mindedness and love and light that we talk about. So, and I had thought about that too, and I had really been kind of trying to really process this because this is really big news. This isn't like, she changed her hair color. This is her faith. Like the basis of what she has taught, may not be the same anymore. And for me, like I said, it triggered me and it shook me to my core. Because hearing Doreen Virtue, who once, said that there is no devil, there is no, there are no, like, demons, I guess. She said that one time, that demons are, like, personifications of our fears. Which I actually had a realistic experience with that, and that I'll share in a later video when I decide I want to talk about it. That verified what she said. So hearing Doreen Virtue talk about New Age people kind of having demons around and that kind of thing, and her using the word satanic and the devil and the enemy, really got me. And it didn't shake me in a way where, oh, this is so true. It shook me in a way that I was just so perturbed by this. Excuse me, because, I mean, this was just, I couldn't understand this. And so apparently all this happened because she had a vision at church, and she felt like she was being called back to God. And she said that she actually felt bad about a certain book that she wrote and a card deck that she made. So this is the book, Archangels and Ascended Masters. And she said to throw this book away if you had it, and to not use the deck. She's going to redo the deck. I will admit I almost threw this book away, and I didn't. And I've actually been reading it, and I actually kind of like it, because I haven't read it in a long time, and I found myself resonating with some of those. And the reason for this was she felt that some of these lead you away from God, from God and having a relationship with God. Which, my thing is this, and I'm becoming more open to this, reluctantly, but Doreen is helping this process, more open to people's belief systems and trying to not be such an ass towards Christianity, even though it's really hard. It's really hard, guys. It's really hard. But Doreen, like I said before, I found that I was talking to someone about this, who knows her, and I know them, and they said, don't put her on a pedestal. She doesn't want to be there anyway, which is totally true. She doesn't. She's very humble. She's always been humble. From everything I've seen since I started, listening to her and everything. It's a very sobering lesson to be learning right now. Because once again, I fell into this trap that I think a lot of us fall into, where we elevate the person and the teaching. And there's nothing wrong with admiring a person. There is nothing wrong with admiring a teacher and really liking how this teacher presents information and their style of presenting the information, and teach and learning the lessons that they teach and bringing them into your life and helping those lessons making you a better person. So there's nothing wrong with that. So don't think that there is. There's really not. But the problem comes with this, and this is a very fine line that I have been learning about. So right here, when we elevate the person and the teaching, we're right here. There's a very fine line between elevating somebody and idolizing them. And a lot of us, I feel, have fallen into that trap of idolizing Doreen Virtue. And number one, that's false, because A Course in Miracles actually says that we are all the same, that there is no separation. There's no separation between me and Doreen Virtue. There's no separation between me and Alana Fairchild, or Radley Valentine, or Britney Spears, or I'm listing my favorite people. But there's no separation. We're all the same. When we perceive separation, when we perceive someone being better, we're saying there's a separation, and there's not. And that actually causes, that's a trick of the ego, right? For those of us that, I don't claim to be well versed in A Course in Miracles, but I've read a bit of it, and I kind of know a little bit about what it's talking about, and I totally agree with it. So we are at a crossroads now. We're at a point now as a spiritual community, as a tribe, where we have to say, okay, this is where I am. This is where Doreen's going. I'm not comfortable there. I don't like it there. That place doesn't feel right to me. And if you feel that way, then guess what? You're validated. It's fine. Don't feel bad, because the only reason that you would feel bad is because you idolize this person, and you shouldn't do that anyway. And it's a lot easier said than done, because this is a really hard thing for a lot of people. It's super hard. It's super difficult. It's something that, we never saw coming, just out of left fucking field. But the thing we have to remember is our spiritual path is ours. My spiritual path is mine. Your spiritual path is yours. We are totally different. We're on a love-based path, but those paths run parallel to each other. They're not the same one. So don't feel bad because you can't follow someone else's spiritual path. But just because Doreen Virtue has gone to Jesus, to Christianity, to the church in a way that we might not be comfortable with or agree with, we have to, number one, respect it. Like, we cannot talk bad or negative about Christianity. Like I said, it's hard for me. It is so difficult for me when it comes to Christianity, and I'm going to be totally upfront and honest about it. I'm not going to downgrade it, and I'm not going to degrade Christianity. But it's hard for me, And it's hard for a lot of us because we've all been told, oh, you're wrong, you're going to hell, all this kind of shit. That's not true. And that was another thing about the video that shook me, was because she talked about hell, and she's never talked about hell. And I kind of feel like, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm like, I can't edit this out because I don't know how to edit videos. Which I guess just means I need to say it. She said that she was watching a lot of videos of people that had near-death experiences and Jesus coming and rescuing them. I do want to point out something. Well, I have no interest in watching those videos because I don't care. The videos that I have seen when I was in the church, each person's description of hell was vastly different. And each person's description of heaven was vastly different. The way it looked, what happens when you first get there, everything was totally different. So if all these were true, I feel like they would all see the same thing. If you're going to see a pit of burning flesh, it should be the same across the board. How you get to hell should be the same across the board. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like if you're really seeing this, then it should be the same. You should have some type of validation for it. So I'm just going to leave that there. So at that part of the video, if that bothers you, then, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. But we have to really say, okay, I believe this. And yes, this was a teaching of hers, but this teaching of hers helps me, and I have validation that I believe this and that this is true for me. Then believe that. No one is saying that you have to go to an Episcopal church like she does. No one is saying that you have to believe like she does. And there was a little bit of that energy in that video. And I don't know if she was trying to be pushy, but it felt like that a lot. And the video did feel very judgmental to a lot of people. And a little bit of and it felt like that a little bit to me as well. So I'm not knocking that by any means. So please don't think I am. If you feel judged, that's a valid feeling. Your feelings are valid. Every feeling you're feeling about this is perfectly valid. Don't let anybody tell you different. But she posted on Facebook this morning, and I'm actually going to try and read it. Actually, you know what? I remember it because I don't even want to try and look for it and find it because I'll be on my phone forever trying to find it. But she posted a link to the video on Facebook that she made, and it was a long post. And she was talking about how she still believes in unicorns because she believes they're in the Bible. She still believes in talks to tree fairies and flower fairies. She still, what was it she still did? She still talks to the angels and such. She says she was given guidance to not use her gift for on-demand readings, which I don't know what she means by that. I don't know. I mean, all the clairvoyant. I mean, well, I can't speak for every clairvoyant that I know, but I'm clairvoyant. I don't just give spontaneous readings. I don't know if she does. I don't know what she meant by that. But I mean, it was nice to know she still talks to the angels. She still wants to communicate with angels. Unicorns and fairies were good. I was told that she believes that the decks that she has created have been in the light, and so those are fine. We don't know if she's going to make any more, other than the ones that she's probably under contract with Hay House to come out this year, like the Angels of Abundance, the Oracle cards, the Crystal Angels Oracle cards, and the Animal Tarot with Bradley Valentine. So she's probably under contract with those. So those are probably going to be maybe the last if this path continues. But she does believe that the cards that she's created have been in the light and that they are fine so far, the ones she's created. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we're validated there. But we have to get to a place where we realize that, number one, it's okay to not resonate with everything someone says. And we have to realize that her changing her path is not a judgment on us. Even though we may have felt judged, which it felt like that, I know. But we have to realize that we have to allow someone when we feel judged, we have to allow that feeling in. If we are confident in ourselves, and even though this is teachings that she gave us that maybe we feel like she's judging, we have to realize that these teachings are what we hold dear, and that's where we are, right? and we have to respect her path. And I'm doing the angel intuitive course. I'm still doing it. Like I'm gonna take her certified angel intuitive course, and I'm gonna love it, and it's gonna be fantastic and phenomenal. And the only question I have is what she thinks about mediumship now, which I asked her on her Facebook page. So I'll get back to you guys if she responds. But yeah, it's definitely something that is a shock to all of us. Whatever you're feeling right now is totally fine. Feel it. Be in it. Like, don't fake your feelings. A lot of people have unfollowed her. A lot of people have unsubscribed from her YouTube channel. I haven't done that. Like I said, I'm going to keep her reading. I'm going to keep Doreen right now at arm's length away from me. I'm going to keep everything she's done up to this point. But for now, she's going to be. I'm going to hold her at arm's length. I love her. I appreciate her. I respect her. I support her. But the verdict for me is I'm keeping you over here. I'm not going to. I'm going to really analyze the things that you start coming out with. That's kind of where I am with this. I'm going, like I said, keep everything she's done. I'm still going to read this book. I'm still going to pray the prayers in this book, the invocations in this book, for the Ascended Masters, and because I love all of these, so I am not. I'm not about to throw this book away. I actually have the ebook version too, and I have the Ascended Masters Oracle cards, and I believe, and this is something I want to validate for you guys. Every Ascended Master in this book, it can lead you closer to God. And even she said that when you are working with an Ascended Master, make sure they lead you closer to God. And instead of God, you can say source energy or your higher self. Make sure that these Ascended Masters you're working with are helping you become better people and are helping you live more in the light. That is the criteria for whoever you pray to, for whoever you worship, for whoever you have. I will tell you right now, across the table from me, I'm looking at Mother Mary, Ganesha, Kuan Yin, Isis, and Mother Mary again. And a Buddha. I have a Buddha over there. I forgot about. I have all of them. I love them, and I work with them. And so, don't let anybody tell you your beliefs are wrong. If you feel judged by what Doreen said, I apologize for that, even though it's not my fault. But I'm sorry that you feel judged. But know that your beliefs are validated. Know that we're all navigating this together. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the energies of what is. Of what are the energies of the coming events of what's going to happen. Hearing her talk about the end times was a bit much too. So, but just know this. Just know this. Your truth is yours and yours alone. No matter who it came from. Your truth is yours. You hold on to your truth. Do not let anybody, not even Doreen Virtue, sway you from your truth. And if you feel like you need to unlike her page or unsubscribe from her YouTube channel because you don't feel comfortable with her anymore, then do it. Don't feel bad for it. Like I said, I'm going to stay subscribed. I'm like I said, I'm going to keep her at arm's length from now on. I've stopped watching her weekly videos. Number one, because they're 30 minutes and I don't have time to watch a 30-minute video for a weekly reading or for a divine guidance message or whatever she calls it now. I don't have time for that, but so I have kind of stopped watching those. That's just kind of how it is. But just know that you are perfect the way you are. You are filled with divine love and light. And like I said, we're navigating this together. This is uncharted territory, I feel like, for a lot of us. And if you've been hurt, I'm sorry. You're amazing. You're fantastic. You're wonderful. And I'm sending you a huge hug right now. Can you feel it? Oh, hugs. Sending you tons of love and light and happiness. And just know that your path is yours and nobody can tell you it's wrong. And if, one last thing is if you find something in your path that you don't resonate with anymore, then it's okay to change it. It is okay to change your path at any time. It's fine. But just know that we're all in this together, and there's tons of love and light. There's, great groups on Facebook that you can talk openly about how you feel and have a great support system. I love the Facebook group Spiritual Journey Pit Stop. That is actually, it was created by Vix from New Age Hipster. So it's been a great, there's a huge thread on there. We've been talking about how this is all making us feel. So you can go there and you can see what's going on. There's probably quite a few posts about the situation. So, but just know that it's okay. But it's really important that you support Doreen and that you send, even if you unsubscribe and you're just like, you're pissed off at her, send her love and send her light and send her happiness right now. Support her like you want to be supported in your path. And just pray for her and just pray for guidance and clarity and pray for the highest good of all concerned. And we'll make it through this. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's going to be all right. I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching this kind of rambling video. But I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out there and kind of maybe help you guys who are feeling a little like I was and am. But you guys are awesome. Love and light, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.